American dream. He's just a common man, working hard with his hands. He's just a common man, working hard for the man. Hey, he's American dream. Hey, he's American dream. If you're black or white, redneck, funky, that's alright. Blue-eyed with a lot of soul, common man has got his gold. Hey, he's American dream. Hey, he's American dream.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Top Rope Reality, episode 62. And it's not a very good episode this week.
Not a very good episode at all.
This past week, the legend, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, passed away.
Age of 69
And
years
it
old.
was a shock to the wrestling world.
Yes, because it was very sudden. And according to his daughter-in-law, Eden, which is
Yes.
Brandy Runnels,
Cody's wife.
Yes, Cody's wife, she posted that he passed away with his family by his side, but it was from complications from a brief illness. It was natural causes is what they put on there.
Yes, I've read a few places, how much, this is true or false, his kidneys shut down, so. I also heard he fell. But,
Yes,
you know,
yeah,
so-
TMZ posted that he
So.
fell and he had complications from the fall. But there's many different things
There
that could have
is.
been. He's older and everything, but he was looking so good. He lost all that weight and everything.
I know.
He got so much smaller. But there's no telling what it could have been.
But it's a great loss to
it
the
is.
wrestling
It's a
world.
huge loss.
Huge.
I don't think NXT, not the show, but I don't think NXT, the training facility, will ever be the same again.
Oh, no.
He was the promo guy. He did promo
Yes.
classes, and I think that's honestly, he is the best person to learn promos from.
But if what he taught those people down in NXT, if they take it to heart
Yes.
and just remember what would Dusty do,
Yeah.
they'll go very, very far in this business.
Yes, all those NXT people were posting things. I've even saw interviews with Big Cass and Enzo Amore,
yes.
and they said that they owe their entire career to Dusty because Dusty went to bat for them, and quite a few other people
Sami
have
Zayn.
said that. Yes, so it's amazing how many people he could have touched. And I think even Dustin posted that Dusty would be elated at the outpouring.
From everybody, not just from the wrestling world. Outreach
They
everywhere.
put it on all kinds of sports networks. They put it on regular news. That just shows you right there. It goes along with the lines of the Ultimate Warrior passing away. That was
Yes.
everywhere.
Everybody does American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
That's true.
Everybody does
that
it.
is
When you
true.
say American Dream, they knew what you're talking about.
That's
They're going,
true.
oh, American Dream. No, it's Dusty Rhodes. Everybody knew.
Yes.
He is one of the greatest.
Yep.
And will go down as one of the greatest of all
He
time.
will, in my opinion, he will go down as the greatest promo of all time.
Oh, yes.
If
Now,
he can pull
everybody-
anybody into a seat.
Everybody said he sucked as a wrestler, but he could entertain you to death.
And see, for his size,
Yes.
I don't agree with that. Though.
No, me
For
neither.
his size, he could go with the best of them. Because I guarantee you, a lot of those athletes right now in NXT couldn't go for an hour with Ric Flair like he could.
Right.
And with his size, going for an hour, I'm smaller than that man was. I couldn't. If I knew how to wrestle, I couldn't wrestle for an hour.
Yeah, that's true.
I ain't got that kind of cardio. For him being that big, having that kind of cardio, that's amazing. And he will go down as one of the greatest. And of course, they'll probably have some kind of graphic up tonight, maybe a 10-bell salute tonight for
There
the
should be.
pay-per-view at Money in the Bank.
Did you see the video they had at the NXT event?
Yeah, with it all chanting and
When
stuff.
they're all chanting, yes.
Yes, thank you, Dusty. That was really cool.
And I believe in my heart that we'll get it tonight at the pay-per-view. We'll get it on Raw.
Monday.
Yes.
Yeah. But
I mean-
and on top of that, also, if you haven't paid attention to what's going on the network, after Monday Night Raw, they will have a tribute special, I guess an hour-long tribute special, probably interviewing people, plus highlights of his career that will air after Monday Night Raw, so that'll be really special to see.
Oh, yes, we definitely wait to see that.
Yes.
But we're going to go this week on the episode. We're going to keep our same thing, but we're going to do a lot of talking about Dusty Rhodes.
It's going to be a little bit different.
Countdowns will be all about Dusty.
Yes.
And we're going to talk the first part here about a little about Dusty's career and everything. We're going to get to a little bit of Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, of course, and in part 4, all our parts we have in part, all our segments in part 4.
Yes.
But let's get to talk about Dusty. He debuted in 1968.
1968 and retired, had his last official match in 2007.
Do you remember who was against?
Do not.
Randy Orton.
Nice. Nice. That's a long time. That's the year I graduated high school, and I barely remember that.
But so, Dusty he was a multi-time champion over different federations.
Your phone will be going off if you don't have the volume. Starting right now.
We get Truth and R-Truth and King Barrett starting right now. So, but like I said, multi-time champion, tag teams from different organizations in United States, world, television. I mean, Dusty held them all.
It's amazing everywhere he's. I mean, Central States Wrestling. I told you. Championship Wrestling from Florida, where he was like the biggest draw ever. Georgia Championship Wrestling, International Wrestling Alliance, all the way in Australia, ladies and gentlemen.
Florida.
The kickoff has started. Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, Jim Crockett Promotions, where he was also the booker for many years. World Championship Wrestling, where he was a booker. Pro Wrestling Federation in Florida, NWA Big Time Wrestling, NWA Detroit, NWA Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, NWA Mid-Pacific Promotions, NWA San Francisco, NWA Tri-State, National Wrestling Federation, and World Championship Wrestling Australia. They stole the name. That's interesting.
It is. I mean, he was like, he was
champion everywhere in those locations.
He could have been the world champion. He could have been a tag team champion.
When he was there, too, as well.
He was the champion. And also, he ruled the Bunkhouse Stampede.
Yes. 85 to 88 winner.
Yes.
Wow. That is huge.
He was in many Hall of Fames.
Yes, he was.
Not only the WWE Hall of Fame in 2007, but he was in the NWA Hall of Fame in 2011, Professional Wrestling's Hall of Fame in 2010. He was in the World Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame in 1996,
wow.
And in the WCW Hall of Fame in 1995.
Wow. His win-loss record, he's got 124 wins, 14 draws, and 37 losses. I wonder where all that goes from, like his whole career, because he's probably had more matches than that.
Yes, but it's mostly just TV matches. TV, pay-per-view matches, stuff like that.
He's had pay-per-view appearances, 37 pay-per-view matches, 8 main event pay-per-views.
Yes.
That is huge.
And like you said, they're going to air the special on the network this Monday after Raw.
Yes, that'll be awesome to see, and I just want to. I would love to see what all they're going to do to honor him on the special.
Oh yes, I know it's going to be great. I mean, I think they already talked to Ric Flair already. I mean, they gave out the funeral arrangements already and everything.
Yes, it's all we posted that on our page.
And I believe right now, Money in the Bank, they're talking about Dusty. It seems that way. And that's what
her hair almost looks.
That would be the only thing to do. That'd be the right thing to do.
I mean, they even stopped Tough Enough competition for about a half a day just to let everybody have their time and and kind of go off on their own and kind of ponder about things.
Talk about how great of a man he was.
Yes.
But
speaking of Money in the Bank.
Yeah, let's talk about Money in the Bank. We'll get back to
that real
like
quickly.
I said, part 3 will be talking more about Dusty's top 10 list we found for Dusty Rhodes and stuff, and then we'll talk more about Dusty.
Of course.
If it comes about,
Right. Of course, Seth Rollins will be defending the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in a ladder match against Dean Ambrose.
That should be a great match, especially with those two, because they were in the Money in the Bank ladder match last year with a bunch of other guys. Now they're in a ladder match by themselves for the title. What will happen?
And of course, the co-main event, in my opinion, Kevin Owens once again taking on John Cena. And all of our predictions are on our Facebook page as well. And then Money in the Bank ladder match with Dolph, Neville, Randy Orton, Sheamus, Kofi, Roman Reigns, and Kane as
And
well.
Also from last year, Dolph and Kofi were in the Money in the Bank ladder match as well. So I guess you're just
Everybody
stuck
else
in
is
everybody
different,
was
though.
different, something else, yeah. And I believe, I mean, it's leading down that path of Reigns. You know, I
Yes.
don't want to see it, but I had to pick it, and I believe.
Sad day for WWE, one of the most innovative, charismatic superstars of all time. Dusty Rhodes passed away. We love him, and that came from Vince McMahon's Twitter.
Hashtag Thank You Dream.
Yes.
Even Seth said he's going to have some tape on his wrist that says Dream on it.
Triple H said, hashtag booking ain't easy, kid. Sad to hear the passing of Dusty Rhodes' legend, teacher, mentor, Stephanie. We never got to shoot our angle together. Thank you for everything. Love you, Hall of Famer, legend hashtags, and hashtag rest in peace, Dusty Rhodes.
The Rock. I'll be forever grateful for the tremendous influence he had on me and my career and our beloved squared circle. Miss and love you, Dusty. R.I.P., brother. Hashtag hard times, daddy. Hashtag son of a plumber. Hashtag bad dude in the game. And hashtag the American dream.
Mega Dream. Mega Dream.
So many people.
So many people it has affected. So many people have had an outpouring. Literally, when I posted mine on Facebook, it was still trending. I think it trended on Facebook for at least 2 days straight.
Oh, yes.
So that is amazing that he had that kind of reach. But going back to Money in the Bank, we have the tag team titles being defended with New Day defending against the prime time players.
Yeah, we figured it's time for a change, but
But it may not be.
It
They
may
may
not.
be fully invested in the New Day gimmick.
They're loving the New Day, and
They
the
are.
New Day may somehow squeak out a win by keeping the tag team titles.
That is true. And then we have the IC title with the man who won his first championship just 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks, folks. Remember that. So
2 weeks ago at Elimination Chamber, he won the vacant Intercontinental title. That is Ryback. And ladies and gentlemen, 11 years after he started his journey, according to his before and after picture on Twitter, he was in the ring 11 years ago with the man known as Big Show on the $1 Million Tough
Yes.
Enough, and now is defending for the first time the IC title against the Big Show.
and I don't see Big Show winning the title
No.
because why would you give him the title and 2 weeks later take away and give it to Big Show, who should be on the end of his career heading out?
That is
He
correct.
should make Ryback look good.
That is correct.
That man can win Money in the Bank, so better watch out for him.
I think it might be too early for Neville. They're building him up.
You weren't supposed to say the name.
I don't care. It's
That's
too
another
early.
teaser to the fans out here.
Too early for him. Then the WWE Divas Championship, Nikki taking on Paige. Last year it was Paige taking on Naomi. So will Paige, a year later, regain the Divas Championship against
Well,
Nikki?
we didn't think she would. We picked Nikki.
Yes, because they are fully vested in her. She is the
And
John Cena of
and
the
what I've
Divas.
heard is they're trying to make her record past what AJ was.
That makes sense because
It is the WWE. They are bitter.
yes, you got to get the record off of her. They did it to Brock Lesnar when he left. They did the record for the youngest champion
Yes.
to Randy Orton, and then of course the longest reigning champion. I can't remember who it was before, but then they gave it to CM Punk, and I don't know that they'll ever invest in someone that long to surpass his, but it will be interesting. But
And shortly at the kickoff, when we
Yes,
get down to the last
shortly.
match, R-Truth versus King Barrett.
yes,
We've decided, we picked King Barrett will win. He needs to win.
he needs to win, but at the same time, like
I would
Mr.
not be
Kevin
surprised.
Taylor, our fan Kevin Taylor on Facebook, put on there that he thinks R-Truth will win strictly because WWE has a hard time knowing how to use a King of the Ring winner, and it is
Yes.
very, very true that they do not. I mean, like when Brett and Owen and the rest of them, when some of them, the Macho Man,
Right.
they had it. It was a full character, and it was, it meant something. And now it's just, oh, okay, well, he's just King of the Ring, and nobody cares. Same thing happened when Sheamus had it too. Nobody cares.
That's true. That is true.
King Booker, he brought it back up to prominence and everything. He won a championship while he had it, Hey, the Money in the Bank giveaway with a signed contract briefcase match of the night.
That's our Probably had to do
They
it.
give it away
Probably had to do it before the pay-per-view.
You never know.
But yeah, I want Barrett to win. Barrett should win.
Yes.
But I went to Barrett, but I believe now in my heart.
Yes,
that-
I think Kevin Taylor
true.
has changed our mind, but we will keep going with our
The
prediction.
predictions are on Facebook.
Because they're on Facebook. They're in black and white.
They're locked. Yeah, they're not going to change.
That is true. But we want to talk about the 10 predictions.
A few predictions that people will come up with saying what could happen tonight and Money in the Bank, and I want to see.
Some of them
how
we've already
close they
kind
are.
of said.
Yes.
But Roman Reigns wins Money in the Bank. We pretty much said
Yes,
that already.
everybody sees that in the world. Unless Kane sneaks in and holds the belt, holds the briefcase,
Right.
and keeps teasing Seth by driving Seth crazy.
Right.
by doing
But
that.
number 9 is a little weird, but maybe not. Could be Sheamus. I really don't think.
I don't want to see Sheamus being the Money in the Bank briefcase holder.
No, I think he needs to be in that mid card to help the mid card area out. I don't think he needs to be at the top right now. Paige becomes Divas Champion, number 8. I would not mind it, but like you said, if the Nikki's trying to get a record going,
Yeah, so
it'll be a
if
little
they
while.
want Nikki to, well, she's over 200 days now. I forgot how long AJ had the
I don't
title.
know, we'll have to look that
Look it
up.
up and find out. But if, and they keep bringing it up too. That's why last week on Raw, when they brought it up,
They brought
I
how
thought-
long she had been.
yes, I thought, well, that's it. Paige is winning on Raw. But she did not.
Interesting.
So,
And then, of course, number 7 is the New Day continues being awesome.
yes.
And we did pick primetime players,
We did
but
pick
we do
players.
feel that they are fully vested in this New Day gimmick. They do
They are.
enjoy the chance. They enjoy the fans getting involved. And then, of course, Kevin Owens versus John Cena doesn't have a definitive end, and that will be interesting. That will be a way to continue it because, like you said, we both agreed, and even Jim Ross said that Kevin Owens needs to continue the win. If he loses to John Cena now, you haven't really created a heel. But if there's no definitive end, then that could lead to a third match, which is the next pay-per-view.
Battleground.
Battleground would actually make sense. You have the third and final match could be like a last man standing.
With a third and final match to be at SummerSlam.
That could be true. They could do it that way. Maybe Kevin Owens gets disqualified and injures John Cena to put him out till SummerSlam. He makes his big return.
Has John Cena ever been up that long?
Right?
And speaking of John Cena, I forgot what I should have looked at the dates more, but if he loses tonight,
Yes.
it will be the first time since he lost at TLC and the Royal Rumble the following year. And I don't know if it was 12 and 13 or 13 and 14. When he's lost back to back pay-per-view matches.
That must be against CM Punk.
Didn't say. I said it was that's
Huh.
2 matches he lost.
And then, of course, number 5, Ryback retains, which the only thing that would make sense is Ryback retains.
Yes, there should be no contest in that one.
Yes, Big Show does not need the belt. Big Show really doesn't need to be in the match.
He does.
Number 4, Kane
I know.
does...
Right? Let's see. Big Show's in the match, but Bray Wyatt is nowhere to be found.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't understand that, and I even read where they're saying that it doesn't really matter how much that Bray Wyatt loses because it won't matter once he turns face, and it's like, okay, but if he's never on TV, how are we going to be invested in him once he does turn
I
face?
know.
He's never on there. And I understand
Spot
he's
was
the
open
new,
there in the Elimination Chamber. They
who
put
gave it to Mark
in.
Henry, and I know he's going to be the new Undertaker eventually.
He
but-
beat Ryback.
Right.
Hello, I beat you. Oh, now you're Intercontinental Champion? I think I can beat you again
Exactly.
and win your title. Much better storyline than
Yep.
Big Show.
Yep.
And if they're going to put Big Show in there, then why not Miz? Because Miz was part of this 3 group too.
Yep.
It should be Ryback, Miz, and Big Show.
Unless somehow
For
the
the title.
Miz gets involved in the match tonight and that leads to Battleground.
It may.
But either way, I understand they're trying to make Bray Wyatt, it's a special occasion when he's on there maybe,
Yeah.
trying like to do the Undertaker type thing, where it's a special occasion, but in order to make it feel special at his young career, you need to see him a little bit more.
That's true. Kane will do something.
Something. Yeah, he'll be in the match.
If he wins the belt, wins the briefcase, could he cash in and try to win the belt? Will he be in the main event and
Are you saying like
trying
because
to
we've been
get in
saying
his
he's doing
head?
his song, his swan song.
Yes,
So
this is-
could he win it and go on to try to win the belt and win it from Seth and have his final
Could be.
hoorah? I don't, it doesn't bother me either way. I mean, I'm not a big fan of him winning.
No,
I just think
and that-
he's
and
just
that-
an extra piece of the puzzle in the match.
And that fills it back in. Because we got to see, if SummerSlam was next, a lot more of the puzzle would fit together.
Yep.
We got one more pay-per-view before we get to SummerSlam, where Brock, who's supposed to come back tomorrow night,
Interesting.
said, where Brock is supposed to come back. So Brock, so we're going to see what's going to happen here, folks.
Going to be interesting. And then we have Seth Rollins establishing himself as a real champion. I don't understand what that's supposed to mean because to me, he's already fully established. He's fully vested, and I think he has established himself as a good champion. Would I put him in a top 10 WWE champions? No. But has he served his purpose as a good heel champion along with the authority of being a thorn in people's sides? Yes. He has served his purpose, yes.
Seth has to keep the championship. Seth has to defend the championship at WrestleMania next year.
Yes.
Seth has to get through the challenge of Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
That is true.
So,
in order to prove himself,
yes,
because he's been facing the same people back to back to back to back. In order to he needs to keep the title all the way to SummerSlam, and then really to prove himself, does he beat Brock Lesnar?
he needs to.
Because he beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, right?
He pinned Roman, yes.
He's pinned Roman, and now he's involved with Dean. He's been involved with Randy, and he's beat all these people. Now, in order to really prove himself, he should have to beat Brock Lesnar. Do you give the belt back to Brock Lesnar and have another stretch where the title's not defended that much because he's not there?
I don't like that.
I mean, I was okay with it for the time being, but if you were doing that once a year,
you've been there, done that. Let's not do it again.
Right. I'm okay with him doing special matches like The Undertaker does.
Yes.
Specialty pay-per-views. He comes in and he does his matches where he's a special attraction. But I don't think he needs to keep winning the belt every time he comes back and having long stretches where nobody is defending the belts.
No.
I don't like that.
No, I don't like that either.
Because this is not UFC. We're not going to have him the champion and then he goes away and then you have an interim champion. They do that in UFC because they can't wrestle. They can't fight every pay-per-view in UFC. They have to have a time period of rest where they get ready to fight again.
Right.
And they crown an interim champion. This is not UFC, so I don't want to see that happen. So Seth needs to continue being champion because once he beats Brock, then whoever beats Seth, they are a made person at that point.
Yes. Because Brock and Roman did damage to each other.
Yes.
And Seth's coming clean to the pieces.
Yes.
Facing one-on-one with fresh people, that proves you there.
Yes.
And tonight we'll have to see, will he do it by himself? As he keeps saying, he needs no help from you, or you, or you, or you, or you. I'm going to do it by myself. If he does it by himself and wins.
But he keeps pointing at people in the authority.
Oh, yes.
Not helping him.
Yes.
Could that lead to someone that's not in the authority, like we've been talking about, being the person that helped him?
Could be.
And I like the idea personally.
Well, number 2 is Dean Ambrose turns heel. But what?
When I saw the picture, the photo of what they just showed a while ago, it reminded me that they are leading to something later on, which may be a WrestleMania match.
Could be. Here's Twin Magic.
Ah.
She got DDT and she went under, and there she goes. And see,
one has bigger boobs than the other. It doesn't work.
I know, the ref is blind. Come on, Mike Chioda.
Right, you've been there long enough.
Just because it's a 2 and a white chick.
But anyway, what I'm saying though is what they're supposedly leading to is Triple H versus Seth Rollins down the road.
Yes, I have read that.
If The Rock can't wrestle at WrestleMania, do you have Seth Rollins versus Triple H at WrestleMania?
I say yeah.
That would be interesting.
It would be. Pedigree versus pedigree.
There you go. Does the student of the game do it better than the game?
Yeah, no. It writes itself. It does.
Maybe that's what they're leading to, just in case The Rock may not be able to wrestle.
We will see. But like I said, number 2, Dean Ambrose turns heel. I hate this idea. I hated it when I first heard about it. Dean does not need to be heel. Dean needs to be the new Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's coming in, whipping ass, and doing what he does best.
And right now, that's where they're going. But if you really look at it, out of the 2 people that from 1 and 2, he would be a better heel. Because he's always been a better heel. But I like him as a face, and number 1 is Roman Reigns cashing in, and that's who needs to be the one to turn heel. And I think if they do him heel,
trust me,
if he does the heel thing, and they do the Rock treatment to him, because he's basically in that point in his career of the die.
That's why he can get rid of the stupid outfit, change his outfit, come out nice tailored suits.
Let him do the die Rocky die. That's where he's at in his career right now.
He needs to.
So Like
Him
The Rock
with the
joined the
authority,
corporation.
with the authority behind Roman Reigns being a heel, telling the people that they need to shut up and sit down because they don't know what a true talent looks like. They never knew what true talent was.
And this could be a way. This could be a way to get Kane out of the authority into the mask, because Kane is the muscle of the group. Roman Reigns could become the muscle of the authority.
But there would be trouble. There would be trouble. You can't. I mean, trust me. If Dean was to beat me, saying I'm Seth,
Yes.
and then my buddy comes down cheering for me, who just won the Money in the Bank early in the day, cheering I won the title, then he spears me and pins me and takes my title. Not only do I have an enemy with Dean Ambrose, but what about Seth, who was a former champion? That wouldn't work too well in the authority.
Right.
But that would go over with Hunter and Seth.
Sure.
It would work out great.
It's going to be interesting. It definitely is. But very quickly, before we go to part 2,
Yes.
I'm going to go over Ring of Honor Best in the World 2015 live on pay-per-view this coming up Friday, June the 19th, 2015. Why involve the man if he's not going to be in the match? In Terminal 5 in New York, the main event, champion versus champion, world champion Jay Briscoe versus television champion, who's out to prove that the television champion means more than the world
Held
championship.
as long. He's held for a very long
Jay
time.
Lethal.
I think
So-
it's time. I think it's time for a title change. I think Jay Lethal, the heel, needs to run with the title for a while in Ring of Honor.
Yes. So guaranteed, this match, there will be a man named Jay win the match.
You can
Guaranteed.
mark it down that
Mark it down
a
on the
world
circle.
champion named Jay will walk out
Yes.
with the title.
A no DQ for the tag team titles, The Addiction taking on Red Dragon for the tag team titles, and then we'll have...
I love the Addiction.
Love them. I love Red Dragon too.
That will be a great match.
That will be a great tag team match. It would be, especially being a no DQ. What will they do? What all will they pull out to finish this match? The world #1 contenders match. Roderick Strong taking on Moose, and the Unbreakable Michael Elgin.
I believe Moose will walk out with the victory.
Yes, if Moose wins, it would only make sense for Jay Lethal to be world champion because they love Moose. But here's the weird thing: even though they love Moose, his manager and his valet, because he has can't remember the guy's name, but her name is Veda Scott. The two of them work as a heel, but they love Moose. They chant for Moose. They enjoy Moose being around. So he's almost a face with 2 heel managers.
Yes.
So it's very interesting, but I think that could be Moose winning, and then they could even pull the thing off where Moose wins. He goes into the championship match, loses though to Jay Lethal, and then his 2 heel managers end up kind of turning on him because they're his meal ticket. He's the meal ticket, and they let him down, and so that's where he could be fully a face. You could do it that way. Then you have the Kingdom, which is Adam Cole, baby. That's his little thing he says all the time. Mike Bennett
With Maria.
with Maria. And Matt Taven taking on the Bullet Club of AJ Styles and the Young Bucks. The Bullet Club.
Wrong with that.
Donovan Dijak with Truth Martini, who is part of the, I want to call it the Truth Commission because his name is Truth Martini, but that would be the Jackal.
Yes,
That would be Attitude Era.
Yes.
But anyway, part of Jay Lethal's group, Donovan Dijak.
He's the manager, yes.
He is the manager of Jay Lethal, Donovan Dijak, and Jay Diesel. Donovan Dijak will be taking on Mark Briscoe. So both Briscoes are taking on members of Truth Martini's team.
Could it be a good night for the Truth?
It's
Truth team, Team Truth.
Could be. Dalton Castle, which you said was a very interesting character.
Yes,
He
he
is
was
brought to the ring with the boys.
I can see him making a step up from Ring of Honor to NXT.
Very
With the
interesting.
same gimmick, different name, it would work. I believe it would work really well.
With that look, the
Yes.
look I saw in the picture, would he work well with, let's say, a tag team of Tyler Breeze?
Ooh, I'd say yes.
Yes.
He would.
And he'll be taking on the last real man, Silas Young. That man is a beast. That
He
man
is.
He's a hard hitter. He was on the first episode.
Yes, he was. And if
He destroyed a Japanese wrestler.
I feel bad for Dalton Castle
Yes.
because
Yes, and the boys. The
and the
boys might
boys
get beat up too.
are going to get me in trouble. Yes.
Yes, and also scheduled up here Cedric Alexander, who is trained by the great George South, who's also Tessa Blanchard's trainer, and War Machine, the tag team of Raymond Rowe and there you go, Hanson. will be
I know.
there. I don't know why. That's usually the name I can
I know,
remember.
that's the name
And
you
then
remember.
Capris Coleman. I always wonder if I say that right. Capris Coleman. Caprice Coleman. Caprice, something like that. Caprice Coleman will be there as well. Those are just, and maybe it's Coleman and Alexander versus War Machine. I don't know, but they don't have them set a match yet. So that is Ring of Honor, best in the world.
It's going to be a good show.
And also this Friday, I will be live in Callaway, Florida.
This Friday.
This Friday.
So
At the same time this pay-per-view will be going on June 19th, I will be in Callaway, Florida, which is directly right next door to Panama City, Florida. I will be there for Central All-Star Wrestling, where the Samoan Dynasty, Rosie, and Sika will be there, along with Lance. I'm not gonna say the last name wrong, so I'm just gonna say Lance.
Yeah, say Lance.
Taking on Justin Overstreet, and Zane Stevens will be there as well, along with the rest of the stars of Central All-Star Wrestling.
You'll have a report for us next week on that.
I will have a report next week.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. What?
That's an oh goodness gracious.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
See, there's planting the seeds right now!
Yes, that is.
Planting the seeds. So that is going to be it for part 1. Part 2 is coming up, so we can quickly get to the pay-per-view coming up.
Yes, we'll talk about SummerSlam 1995
Face
Tag
the
Line.
heat!
And we'll talk about that next as we talk more about Dusty Rhodes this week on Top Rope Reality.